things that I thought was awesome coming here was the leadership, and you guys are two of the best, Garth, Aaron, you guys provide great support. And I loved our chat last week. I mean, you guys have complementary skills like few couples out there. Talk about a power couple. I just noticed Orlando. Orlando, you're looking good. Sporting the cap and the shirt.
Always looks good.
Awesome.
Orlando lost like 30 pounds in our challenge. We run a challenge every month for people that are on nutrition, and he lost 30 or 40 pounds.
That's incredible.
It is incredible. He wanted to be his own business card. He wanted to be a walking, living business card.
Well, he is. Well, I can tell you why I joined the company. There's a couple of reasons. One was the leadership. I think the leadership we have is great. The second is the science. What we're able to do in terms of taking the DNA test and turning that into actionable, supplementation that people can partake in is incredible. There aren't other companies doing that. There are companies who will give you a DNA report and talk to you about ancestry. There's companies that do a DNA report and will talk to you about, all the other things you can do, but they don't really have a supplement that actually is tuned to your DNA. Ours is. And so it's one of those things that, I've heard it called Amazon proof. That's a very real thing. There are companies out there struggling right now where somebody goes, hey, here's your product. And they're like, it's on Amazon for 1/3 of the price, maybe not the same quality, et cetera, but ours is custom for each and every person. And I think that is amazing. The second is the opportunity here. The opportunity, we always are talking about the $600 billion, et cetera. To me, like, okay, that's in the future. It's going to get there, but it's accelerating. We're not like at this and it's going to go like this. It's really pulling up. So it's almost like the jet where the flight pilot is just pulled back on the stick, and we're starting to see that just take off and go. You can feel the power of it going when you start talking to people about DNA and DNA nutrition. It's critical for them. And then you're like, okay, well, I need an opportunity. I want to be in a company that really helps people, but it needs to be a good opportunity. Well, we've got that. We've got a very nice compensation plan. We've got a great get started plan. That service bonus, by the way, that we offer, that 20%, that's something that a lot of people miss. And the question I've got for myself right now, really, Aaron, one of them is, hey, do we get that service bonus and just put it back in and get started so it's easier for people to see? But that first start, each person that you guys get in, that's 30% on the commissionable sales right there. So that's really what drew me in. Now, though, what I'm looking at is how do we help people stay on the program long term? How do we help people just continue to reap the benefits of having their products with them that are customized day in, day out? And we've identified a few things that we're working on, and we'll get really full updates on August 15th at the convention. But first is communication, getting people information from the time they join about what they just purchased. Whether it was the opportunity that they bought into, or if it was the product only because they're a customer. What's happening? What's the process? And so some regular emails and communications that are going to come out that help people feel great about the decision to join you on your team right from the very beginning. And keeping in touch with them while they're going through the process of waiting for their DNA result to come in, and while they're waiting for their first personalized supplementation to come in. These are critical things. And so we're going to stay focused on that. We're going to deliver that, and you're going to see massively improved communication in that regard. So I think we do a good job of getting on calls and going, hey, this is cool, but where can we go from there? Well, now we know. The other thing you should look for very soon is an updated website. I think it can be easier to explain our product and what the options are, and anything we can do to make it easy for you to send someone to your webpage and immediately know that they can purchase easily and feel confident with it, and have that kick off the communication from us and to you about what's happening. I think that's going to be a huge win. One of the things I've focused on in my career is making sure that we look at what is the best in breed in terms of systems that help people complete a shopping experience. if they have to go in and then look something else up and then back out 2 screens and then go somewhere else, their likelihood of completing goes down. If we can make it so that they can easily see what our options are and then let them make a choice, that's pretty cool. The other and the third thing I'm very excited about is add-on products. We've talked about digital products for a while now. We've got a few that we're rolling out, and I'm just trying to make sure that when we do roll one out and we roll them out, that they make sense. Everything that we do will be complementary to the core package. But by that, what I would mean is something like this. Let's say that we had an add-on product that you would take for seasonal health concerns. We would look at that and say, okay, what does everyone else may have, tons of these other ingredients in it. We go, well, everyone's already getting that core, but they want something extra for where they live or what their circumstances are personally, and they add that in. You can feel confident that we will have already substituted out the fact that we don't need to add 70% of those core pieces that people normally have to put in, because we know they're already on our core trophy product. That allows us to invest in more high-end additives or complementary ingredients anytime we bring out a boost product. So that's going to be something that's kind of fun, and we'll be explaining how that works at the convention too. But I believe very strongly that you guys are you're in the jet and the pilot's just pulling back on the stick. I'm super excited to be along for the ride, and I can't wait to see where we go together. I know you guys had some questions for me, Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Kevin. Go ahead.
So
That's
Kev,
so exciting.
I really appreciate what you said there about kind of fine tuning the website. And what resonated with me was on my previous employer, we went through a massive rebrand website update. And I remember I was on the committee that was kind of helping with that. And if I remember correctly, there was a target goal in the web-based industry that any visitor to your website should be able to find what they're looking for within 3 clicks.
Yes, or 3 seconds.
Yeah,
Being on there.
I think it was. I think in this case, because again, the company I work for is a little bit different, a lot of information, but you should be able to find everything within 3 clicks. If they've got to go to 4, you've lost their engagement. So I love hearing what you've said there of trying to fine tune and streamline the customer experience. And I don't know, because I know, we've had a couple of conversations with you, and you shared a few things. So I don't know what you're comfortable with, but I love hearing what you've said so far is kind of a new vision, a new path forward to enhance the customer experience, because it has been something that needs some attention paid to it. And I appreciate that you're doing that.
Yes. And the other piece is, we need to give you a balanced meal whenever we're doing calls and supporting you guys. So we should always talk about the opportunity and what's going on. You're going to see much more consistency in terms of like what the core offer is month after month after month. And then there may be some added specials and incentives and things to help people move forward or to re-engage. But whenever I give you a really solid core offering as a business builder, you guys know now you can build systems around it. You can build follow-up experiences where you are saying, look, the $259 is the $259 is the $259. Now, if I can get you to go to the $399 program, here's why I would recommend it. But you can always build on that $259, sink your teeth into it, and just trust that we have your back on that, and that it's 100% bulletproof solid. They're going to join. They're going to get their swab. They're going to get a DNA test. They're going to get a report, and they're going to get their initial supplementation. That's something you can communicate and make super, super clear. So what you're going to be seeing is us erasing some of the noise around the central offering so people can really focus in on that. So keep your eyes open. And when you see that happening, realize that's not us going, take stuff away. That is us going, we know where the core offer is. I mean, if I offer something really cheap or it doesn't make any sense, it just gets people in, but it has no volume for you, it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I need to take care of you and your customers. So we have to price it based upon what it costs to do the business and set it right. But that $259 center package, you'll look for that to be clearer as early as Saturday, and look for it to be very, very on point. so that you can build your offer and your business around that core offer, and then know that the communication from us is going to augment what you guys have. It's going to allow them to do some really cool things and build their business. The other thing is, I was just in Las Vegas the last 3 days. I got home, I walked in 12:30 this morning, not because it was a wild night, other than yesterday I drove up and saw Dr. Jen. So I drove 2 hours north to where she is, and I spent 4.5 hours with her, and then drove back and then caught my plane and got home. You're going to see more and more of her on our Saturday calls. You're going to see more of her talking about what this has to do. You'll see us introducing a blog in the very near future, with science, with functional exercise, with dietary information, and it's going to be aimed specifically at the customer. And then there'll be a separate communication or pieces that have that, plus the business building and leadership development that you deserve as members of our team. So.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we all are lovers of science. We all have that in common. That's, I think, what drew us to this company. And I want to respect your time, Kevin. So I do want you to know that I think our team is one of the strongest teams pushing practitioner. I'm really proud of the work we do. Garth and I have spoken to doctors' conferences. We've got lots of doctors interested, a couple gyms in Reno that are signing up. And so we're really a team that's focused on that as well. And so excited to hear from you about where you see that fitting in, or anything you might want to share about that. And then I would love to let you go to your meeting.
Yeah, I think the thing on practitioner is it's a solid base right now, but it's not growing the way I'd like to see it. I see a lot of effort you guys are putting in, and it's not necessarily reaping the rewards that I believe it should. So I'm focusing right now on clarifying what's happening with Euphoria, and then behind the scenes, we are working to automate the practitioner, so that the practitioner will not have to have one of us or somebody from the team get on the phone and talk through it with the doctors or the clinicians. They can get on, set up their own account, upload 1 or 2 images, and it's running. That's where it needs to be. And frankly, I wish we had waited to launch it until we had it to that shape. So you won't hear me talking a lot about it. That doesn't mean that I'm not concerned about it. It means I'm focusing on Euphoria science, and in the background, we're working to tune the practitioner.
Okay, yeah. Super.
I appreciate that, Kevin, because I think with practitioner, there was so much excitement about what it can do that, we got a cart in front of the horse just a little bit, but I'm happy to hear that you've recognized that, and you're kind of to use the horse and cart analogy, taking the reins and, seeing that get cleaned up as well. And again, improve the experience from a practitioner customer side, which is going to help all of us as we grow this business even more.
Yeah, I see there's a question about timeline for practitioner. At the end of the day, I'm hoping that we'll have a full update on practitioner before September 1, but for sure, I would say by September 1, expect a really nice open dialogue on that, and an additional training on how to make the most of it. The other piece that is cool is Australia. And, we're working really hard to get Australia up and going, but that doesn't mean a lot for those of us in the US if we don't have Australian connections. So my suggestion there is, unless you have a really strong Australia base, focus on your US business, focus on your customers you have. And, in talking to Dr. Jen, she mentioned, we're going to be communicating more and more about a 120-day roadmap to health, to DNA health, because I believe you need to be on this product, our product, get the base in you, and then build up and get used to it for 3 months at least of your customized nutrition, so that you're feeling the full benefit. And so I'm working on a few ways to maybe help your customers do that, and then also collect maybe some of the testimonials, because I know there's some wonderful testimonials out there from people, and often they get stuck in our Facebook feed and not approved because they make a medical claim. So we're looking at what we can do to come back to the people who post those wonderful testimonials and say, can you just change these 4 words? Now we can post it. So look for the Facebook outreach and that content to improve and grow exponentially over the next month. I think you're going to see a big increase in the reach there.
Yeah. So Kevin, I really like that idea of the 120 days customer experience. And one of the things that I'm happy to hear you and Dr. Jen talking about that, one of the things that I was going to do and take upon myself, and maybe this would be more appropriate for Dr. Jen, not to add more to her plate, but one of the things that we've faced a lot from customers is we have folks that can't handle the entire 5 capsules in the morning, 5 capsules at night. So we end up spending a lot of time working with them on drop it down to 3 for a few weeks, or maybe it's 4 in the morning, 4 at lunch, 2 at night, something like that. So what I'm getting at is if Euphoria could come up with some sort of 1-page flyer for customers to have access to that basically said, if you're having, and I'm kind of going off the top of my head here, but if you're having trouble taking the full dose, here are some things to recommend, because we really want you to be on this for 120 days to get the full benefit. But there are people that have, struggle with their full dosage right at the beginning. Hopefully that makes sense.
No, I was just talking to a business owner who owns you know who it is. It's he runs an international, ultra race company, where they basically do races everywhere from China to England to the UK to the US to run up the cliffs in Argentina. It's a wonderful company, not little, but we were talking specifically about the DNA and getting people to take their 10 tablets a day. And we talked, people talked about different ways that they do it. Some people take 3, 3, and 3, or 3, 4, and 3. So they spread it out more during the day, and they just say after breakfast. Or the other thing that we need to look at though is how can we help people stay on the program? Because I can sell you all the nutrition you want, but if I don't help make it so that you can physically engage and use the product and get it into your system, you're not going to get the full benefit. And so that's a great idea. That's a great idea, Garth. I appreciate that feedback very much. As I said, you guys, you got great leaders. I'm seeing questions in regards to skincare and practitioner. Too early to say. The focus right now is on the supplementation, but we're not saying no. It's just too early to say. We're still seeing what the skincare does. If you guys have any question, one of the things I look at is, hey, when we introduce a new product, does it sell well? And so it's available on its own now. And so anything you guys can do to help move it and get us feedback on the product, we would like. Feedback's been great though so far, so we're pretty excited. I think we've had 2 people call and say they had it made my face feel like it felt different, but other people were like, this is amazing, and we're getting many comments like that. So I mean, it's like 2 comments to 80 something, I don't know, some crazy number. I'm like, this is amazing, because as you guys all know, it's a couple of people who aren't happy. They always tell 10 or 15 people. The people who are happy tell like 0.2. So when I get that kind of a result, I'm super happy.
Right.
That math is very rough.
Words of wisdom for us on the team as we launch this rocket ship? Any last words of wisdom?
Yeah. I would say pay attention to your system and pay attention and stay plugged in with your leadership. That's how you do it. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people who talk about their dreams, and there's a lot of presenters who don't really make the distinction. What I would suggest is whenever you have a dream, turn it into a goal. And when you say turn it into a goal, set a timeline. Maybe it's half of it. You say, hey, I want to get to $10,000 a month. Well, and I'm only making $1,500 a month. Okay, what are you going to do to get to $3,500? And then 2 months from now, what are you going to do to get to $6,000? And you focus on those incremental goals, and you say, if you try to make that whole leap at once, very few of us make it, I understand the whole aim for the stars and you land on the moon. Well, okay. But what if you don't know how to aim for the stars effectively and you just fall down on the ground? You do so what you want. Use what works for you. Use the system you're being trained on by your leadership. And if you need help, reach out to them and get it. And know that we've got your back in terms of service and quality all the way.
Oh my goodness.
Kind of sound like training I did.
Thank you, Kevin. How do I unmute everyone so they can clap for Kevin? Unmute yourself. Everyone, give him a round of applause. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much, Kevin. It's great to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys take care. Have a blessed day and have a great rest of your meeting.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have a blessed day, Kevin. Bye.
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 Bye,
Thanks,
Kevin.
Kevin. Are you staying on, Aaron? You gonna keep the team on?
I'm staying on. Let's stay on. Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Good job, you two. Man, that's a coup. That's phenomenal.
Why do you say that?
I just think, I reached out to some folks to have access in a small group to the man who, for all intents and purposes, will take us into a 2.0 future. I just think that he wouldn't have been here had you not asked. And so I know that you've had access to him and speak to him. I know he's listening to you, which is phenomenal from a leadership perspective. But for you to say, will you come and talk to our folks? That direct access is, it's crucial, especially in a small company or especially in a changing company, right? We have to believe we can hear it right from him and not get it filtered through wonderful, good people like Travis, who's going to filter it. You two are going to filter it. Me, who's going to filter it. So great job. Thank you for asking him to come.
You're so welcome. You're so deserving. And he ought to listen to us. We're incredible people and incredible, all of us in this company. And
Well, yeah, not
you know what I
us,
mean? But
us.
All of us.
We are engaged. We are engaged.
Royal us.
100%.
in Orlando, he said you look great. So
Yeah.
one other person saying how hot you are.
Orlando, you're going to start. You should probably hook up with the Oaksel's daughter and do a boy-girl modeling thing here, huh? She's got a good gig, Orlando. You might just jump into that, especially with those biceps.
Still got a little bit of work on that.
I see a future. Any other thoughts, anybody? Thank you, Joby.
I appreciate the balance of his motivation and let's just call it how it is. And this is what's happening. And he's not going to announce anything until it's fully ready. And he's honest, transparent, but he's still down to earth. And I feel like we're connected, so I really, really appreciate that. I know with Ron, it was all his energy and his heart was there, but we never really got business sense from him. So as much as I love Ron, I really appreciate that Kevin is playing the role of the CEO, which he should be.
I love that. Thank you, Pamela.
Being a proud business owner, I can see the corporate, on him, the structure. He has a vision. And sometimes, for us, it's hard to understand that vision. We just got to trust that, it'll make sense. It'll make sense. I just can't wait to the launch. I think a lot of great things are going to happen when they launch. And some of these other products that start blending in with the nutrition, it's going to allow us to really capture a lot of customers that are on the edge, I
got excited about that too, Orlando. And I got excited about, I don't want to sacrifice being known as the DNA company just to have a cheap product to get you in my system. I want to be known as the DNA company. And I'm happy to be a proponent of that. Mm-hmm. And so I love that he's staying true to that. And we can have these little supercharger turbo boost packs on our back, right, Pamela? Of add in this and add in this. And you do not have a business unless your customers are happy. Let's all be clear. Mm-hmm. And so I love his vision about that.
Yeah. And if you have customers that keep coming back, how many of us have lost customers and we're constantly trying to replace the ones that have lost. So if we can maintain our customers and then build our business instead of trying to catch up with our business, I think that's a big
which I like what he said.
Go ahead.
What I like about what he said, that he's trying to create a program to keep the customers, 90 days to 120 days engaged, so they can actually see the benefit of the product. Because some of my customers, I call them from time to time and they're like, oh yeah, I forgot to take it this morning. I forgot to take it. I haven't taken it in 2 days. I'm like, so he's right. We need that program that is going to make the customers take full advantage of the 90 days to 120 days and see the results. Because once they see the result, there's no going back.
Well, and
it sounds a lot like our program, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Aaron, it goes back to you guys where, we can't call all those customers. I mean, I understand Orlando like that. And yet you don't want to be annoying with how much you send them that's not valuable. And it's almost like when if the company could send a how you doing and then a snippet from Jen, you know, do you know that even the pediatrician, so no matter who you are, you're getting this right now, and that's important because it's IL-6 or it's about your cholesterol, or, you know, if they could get information of how, when you tell someone, you do this, Aaron, I'm sure when you're speaking, I'm going to give you the best hour and a half of your life. You know, you're going to walk out of here you tell them, then you do it. Within doing it, you tell them it's happening. And when you're done, you tell them what just happened. And they go, yes, that just happened to me.
Yep.
You know, so the same thing with nutrition. Your nutrition is, can you tell them what it's going to do? Then can you tell them what it's doing? And they're like, oh my God, this is helping my cholesterol. I forgot, or this is helping my skin, or there's, you know, it can't all be AC11, right? What else is in there that is helping me sleep better? Are you noticing better sleep?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know what? Yes, I am.
Yep. People don't know what they don't know.
No. And we got to
they
tell
need
them.
to be oriented towards, and he said the exact same thing. There's going to be a drip campaign of Dr. Jen videos and educating, and you made such a good decision. And there's another reason why it's so great that you made this decision. And
have you referred it to one person and got yours for 25% cheaper yet? You know,
right.
All the different, it's almost like it's solving the problems like we did last week of why someone chose it in the first place. It wasn't just for this, or it wasn't just for that. It was for skin and sleep and cholesterol and immune, and I can get it cheaper. Refer it to one if you've been on it for 60 days, refer to one person and we'll send you, and you're going to get $35 off or whatever it is. You know,
I just thought of an idea that I'm going to relay up. When it comes to the customer drip, we need to, or see if we can, not send an email out for the masses. And what I mean by that is if it's a weekly little update, that weekly little update, I would like to see tailored towards that person's DNA in order to generate their interest. You know, for example, everyone who has a red SNP on the IL-6, they're going to get this email this week. Everyone who has a red SNP on
it's possible. That's a lot of email funnel writing, but it's
that's
possible.
a lot of automation.
It's just segmenting and tagging. That's really what it comes down to.
Once you set it up, it's done. Because the reason why I say that is as I'm scrolling through the laundry list of junk emails I get, and I just see, there's just another one from Euphoria Science. Last 3 weeks haven't related to me. But if I'm seeing that each one of these is dripping on me, specifically to me, I think that's going to generate more excitement.
Right.
So
more
I'm gonna,
engagement.
Or at least like what color are you on this SNP, and then have a video from Jen. I mean, you know, that's where they can
me back into my own report.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Like go back.
Red or yellow? Are you red, yellow, or green on this? And here's what it means. You know, aren't you glad this is in? You know, because I think this happened to to many people. I was red on IL-6, and suddenly I looked at my report again because I'm printing some stuff out to do some more marketing and do my little market. And I'm green. I'm like, I've been stressing my ass out about being red on IL-6, which means my whole siblings are all red on IL-6, which means my mom and my dad. And I'm like, I'm green. I'm like, well, where the hell did that come from? Well, better data. But unless I had honestly reprinted out my data, because I'm now doing some marketing, I wouldn't have known that shifted. And I know there was a big conversation about that, but I didn't look. So make me go back into my own report, you know? And
love it.
And just ask people too, you know, like, have you printed your report? Have you at least printed the page with your results? Most people have never even printed it.
Right.
Wow.
And they get it and they're like, I don't know what this means.
Have you talked this over with your mother and decided which one she gave you? Which yellows are from your mother? And should she be on it because, you know?
Which have you blamed your mother for?
Yeah, which things have you blame your mother for?
Family Feud.
Family Feud.
I have to run in a minute. I was just wanting to say, I was thinking last week with the 30-day programs and stuff, I was like, wow, what if we just talked about, like Garth does it and you guys do it sometimes, but it's like, or we used one of Jen's videos in there about like, you know, about this stuff, right? Because it's like, I know that like Garth and I are kind of geeky and we dove into the science, but other people are like, you know what happened? My customers call me and they're like, I don't know what any of this means. Yeah. Like, they're like, And then I tell them to go into the office or the thing, and they're just like, I don't know where those videos are. Then I'm sending them the videos. But it's like in the 30-day thing, it's like, hey, maybe if we just, you know, like I would volunteer to upload a video every day, or the ones that are important to me.
Orlando doesn't know this, but I'm calling him later to ask him to help with this aspect. We kind of had it in the 90.
Plug your ears
we
right
kind
now.
of had it in the 90-day run. We had the intention of educating them as they went, and so we want to make at least one of those posts a week. Judy, I totally agree. You want to educate them of why they should stay on this product. Yep, love it, Judy. So good.
Yeah.
You sure they're gonna understand my Spanglish?
It's a challenge. It's a good challenge for you.
Practice makes perfect, Orlando.
Hey,
All right, everyone.
I've been in the U.S. for 33 years. I don't know. This accent would not leave me.
Right. We love it.
Yeah,
Well,
keep
thanks,
it.
everyone. Anyone else want to say anything before we hop off? I want to honor everyone's time. I'm so happy.
I'd just like to say I was so glad to be able to, Yvette here, to be in. I was occupied and had to be on off camera and muted, but I enjoyed all of it. My most takeaway for me is the last thing that was introduced, and that was the maintaining of customers and educating them.
Yes.
I've done some wellness coaching with detoxing in the past, and the engagement was what kept the people going. And when they see that they have that 21-day plan or that 30-day plan, or in this case, they can look at
90 days.
the fact that it's like it's 90 days. Somebody is here with me. Somebody is guiding me. Someone is coaching me. If I have questions, it's accessible. I can just go to support. Some of them don't even know that. And so when we as leaders, as their sponsors, are more engaged with how they proceed, it's like you're sick. Okay, so stop taking it for a day, or just hydrate a little bit more. A lot of people don't even know about hydration. So if we include some of these things of the educational portion, that's going to make, for me, I feel, my business grow. And as he was saying that and ended with the, how much do you want to make this month? Okay, this is my marker. I was like, I want to know how to get there, me personally, myself.
Yeah.
And by giving my customers the support that they need that way, then I know that they will be maintained and I can reach my goal. I feel like my goal, I just feel a breath of fresh air after this conversation, because I feel like, okay, now I can, I lost my business, and
I know, honey.
It's okay, because this stepped in on time. I found out about this in December, and it's okay, because I still am credentialed. I still have knowledge. I still have the passion, and I'm just converting my passion from the physical pain management to the internal pain management, and it's going to happen. And I thank you all for your support, and I'm just so blessed and to be here at this time. I know it's a place it was destined, and I'm just glad to be here and to be able to show up and be present in my now. So thank you all for allowing me to share.
You are a breath of fresh air, and I'm going to leave on that beautiful thought. And we love you, and we are thinking of you, and we can't wait to watch your amazing pivot that has been sent straight to you. So
yes.
Thank you for joining, everybody. I'm just going to leave it on that, because that's the most beautiful thing. You're a breath of fresh air, and thanks everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good week. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.
You all too. Bye.